Well, many blessings to you out there. Been a while since I've said hello and seen anybody out there or talked to anybody. But I thought I'd make my return video on malas. Mala. So you may have seen my beloved's video who Veronica made. I showed you how to make a mala. Now I'm going to show you how to use a mala. So a mala is from using with either the Eastern traditions like Buddhism, Hinduism, yoga. The mala is going to be actually 109 beads total, but you're only going to actually use 108 of them. So there's 108 that go around the mala, and then there's the guru bead that sits at the top. So the mala is used to count your mantra. So if you have a mantra like Om Shanti or whatever your mantra is, it could even be an English version of love and peace. You use the mala to count the mantras. So it's Om Shanti, Om Shanti. So each time you say the Om Shanti, your mantra, you go across one bead. So then you go all the way through the mala, which this is pretty simple, yeah? And we get all the way to the 108th. We don't cross to the 109th. The guru bead has a very specific purpose. It is the semblance or the resemblance of the guru, which is the bringer of light, the remover of darkness. So the idea is we don't cross that bead. It actually, the mantra, the mala, the guru, is a tool to break the cycle of the samsara, which is the cycle of repeating the same things again and again and again, never getting the lessons but doing the same thing again and again and again, which some of us call crazy, lunacy. But this is what many of us do, or all of us do at some level. We make a mistake and then we do the same thing again in the next relationship, in the next relationship, in the next job, in the next moment. We keep thinking the same things. This is a form of way to break those binds, those grooves, those samskaras, they say in yoga, that are the grooves of unconsciousness that keep us from recognizing who we truly are. So we use a mantra for a specific purpose, for our growth, for our expansion, for our realization of who we truly are. So that's the guru bead. So we don't cross the guru bead. The guru bead is breaking those cycles, those old unconscious patterns and grooves. So then when we get to 108, which is the auspicious numbers of the Eastern traditions, we return back the other way. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, all the way through until we arrive back to the first cycle. So auspicious numbers to use as far as a completion number is cycles of the mala. The 108 repetitions would be the number 5, the number 9, the number 40. There's different cycles that you can do. Now, the way that it is taught in India is you use only the right hand, and you can use any of the fingers except the index finger. So their purpose and intention behind that is, index finger is the finger of accusation, so it's always considered the one pointing out, blaming, projecting. So they tend not to use that one in the East. But we also have this finger, which hasn't been exactly used so greatly in our culture. So I'm teaching the traditional piece first. The index finger is the one not to use, and you're always to use your right hand according to tradition. So tradition, left hand in India at least, left hand is used to wipe your hiney. And in India they don't use toilet paper, so it's considered the left hand is dirty. Also in many of the paths they speak of the left-handed path being the path of the shadow side, and the right-handed path being the path of the light side, of the light. So in tradition you're using thumb or middle finger or ring finger on your right side to count the malas, or the beads on the mala, the repetitions of your mantra. And then the cycles, there's something to go a little deeper called Anustans, which you can set an intention. You choose a mantra and you set an intention in, I'm going to do either 40,000 repetitions or 125,000 repetitions of the mantra over a certain cycle number of days for a specific purpose, to recognize and bring realization to this aspect of me that is keeping me from fully embodying love, unconditional love, divine love in this relationship for myself. Whatever the purpose, intention is. Ideally it's for your evolution, your spiritual growth. That's what you're using this for. That's the traditional way and not so traditional way of using sacred chants, mantras, energies, tools to awaken the sacredness within you. So you may choose to do an Anustan. Why I say 40,000 repetitions or 125,000 repetitions is that's the typical amount. Now, why do we use a mantra? Why do we use a mala? Besides the intention of spiritual growth, how does it work? Good question. Well, it works because everything has a sound. Everything has a sound vibration. Your thoughts have sound vibrations. Mantras have sound vibrations. This body is a formation of sound. Everything in the universe is a form of sound. And there's vast books on the depth and power of sound. Sound, not just sound healing, but the vibrations of sounds. The vibrations, the sounds of everything, from music to inanimate objects to people to thoughts to colors to everything has a vibration, a sound. And using a mantra, what that brings in is having a specific formation of sounds that are used to assist you in your awakening, into breaking down the old patternings that keep you bound to archaic thinking, untruths, selfish ways of moving in the world, and they help to transform those energies that are coverings over us and transform them into the truth of who we are, the light of who we are. So this is a mala, and that's a mantra. Now, I'm thinking whether I share the mantra. Actually, what I'll do is I'll do another video on mantra and the power of mantra, the intention, the purpose of mantra, and why and how it works. I think I've done a little bit on that, but I'll go a little bit more into detail. So this is a mala. That's how to use it. You use your right hand. Now, I confess I don't always use my right hand because I'm doing malas often, so I'll use all of my fingers and both of my hands, all two of my hands. But that was coming from also a specific intention. There's no right or wrong, no good or bad, better or worse. This finger is no less important than this finger. It's my intention of purifying my intention and my movements and my actions through my entire body mind complex. So using my right hand or left hand, I no longer work with that piece, but I do honor not going past the guru bead. My intention is to break these cycles rather than continue to empower them. I hold this, I usually wear my mala. I prefer not anybody else to touch it. Sometimes somebody asks to touch it, and with a loving allowance, I at times allow that. Some people will maintain and keep the mantra in a special place. They'll usually have like a mantra bag, a specific bag that they keep the mantra in, and they're doing the mantra while holding the bag as well. And the intention behind that is to maintain the energy, the juice of the mala. So the mala then starts to create power as you use the mala more, and it starts to imbibe the vibrations of the mala or of the mantras that you're using. And then if you have a tradition behind it, it's imbibing that tradition in it. So a lot of times yogis, when they're not feeling well, they'll actually put the mala in water and drink it because then they're drinking those vibrations. You got to be careful about putting it in water or wearing it in the shower. I find that it'll break down the mala quicker, so that's another piece that I've learned over time. I've broken a lot of malas, and the way that I maintain them, one form of care is not getting them wet. Let me see, what else? Rudrakshas. Why Rudrakshas rather than crystals or a specific color? There's many beautiful malas out there, and each stone has a certain vibration, a certain intention, a certain color and purpose. You can certainly use that. Rudrakshas are considered extremely auspicious. They hold the power and the energy of the mala or of the mantra, and we don't even, there isn't a specific reason that I've found why the Rudraksha holds the energy more, or why the Rudraksha is more auspicious, but you now have millions to billions of people who ascribe to the Rudraksha being auspicious, so the Rudraksha is auspicious. So I use Rudraksha beads. This one is Rudraksha and crystal, but I also carry another one that's solely Rudraksha. And these are what I use day and night, all the time. So there's malas. You can certainly write me questions, ask me questions about how to use this, any specifics. As far as cleansing tools, the mantra is cleansing the mala constantly, but at times you may put it on your altar if you have one to ask it to be re-blessed, or if you have a guru, you might ask the guru to empower the mala, or somebody who can give a mantra that is empowered to empower that mantra and to empower the mala. That is of great value. I think that's enough on mala for today. So I think I've gone through the steps. If you have any questions, again, reach out. It's nice to see you back on YouTube. Many blessings and namaste.